Yo, what is good, YouTube? Krishan checking back in with another video. In this video, I will be giving you guys my breakdown as well as my predictions for this weekend's Toronto Pro. Now, this will actually be a fairly small pro show. We only have 8 guys in this show, so I'm going to go ahead and name off all of them. Slavoj Bednar, Dorian Haywood, Islam Muhammad, Andrea Muzi, Joe Seaman, Mohamed Hassan, Mario's Tom Zook, and we actually have Theo Legrarier confirmed to be in this show, but he isn't on this list. So I will be giving you guys actually all of my predictions for this show. I think it's going to be a pretty good show, and if you guys haven't done so already, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, the 3 guys that I don't have in my top 5 are Islam Muhammad, Slavoj Bednar, and Mario's Tom Zook. Now, Islam actually competed at the Boston Pro. He looked incredible, but just being a taller guy is going to take him a little while to fill out his frame. Slavoj is just going to need a little bit more size to be competitive with some of these guys. And as far as Mario's, I'm actually interested to know how much he weighs. I believe he's an older guy, and I think he would actually probably place a little better in the 212 division. That's taking nothing away from him at all, but he's going to need a lot of size to be competitive with these guys. Now, I am going to say my predictions for the end for my top 5, but I believe these guys are going to place 6th, 7th, and 8th. So in no particular order, I'm going to go ahead and start my breakdown. Now, this is Andrea Muzi, who placed 4th at last week's California State Pro. Actually surprised me. You know, Muzi competed in a lot of competitions last year, not really coming in higher than 6th. He placed 3rd at the Arnold UK, but he was placing 6th and even outside of the top 6 at a couple competitions. The main thing he needed to do was to put on a little bit of size, and he has done exactly that. And once he hit this front double bicep, he really stands out in the lineup of guys that are pretty blocky, so I'm excited to see him this weekend. Now, the next guy we're going to talk about is Theo Legrarier. Now, Theo would actually take 8th place at last week's California Pro, which I'm pretty sure was a surprise to all of us, especially considering that Theo was coming off a 4th place placing at the New York Pro. Honestly, guys, I believe he got overlooked a little bit. I believe he honestly could have placed a little higher in this competition. I honestly butchered my last prediction video for the Cali Pro, but I did have Theo in 2nd and he placed in 8th, so I may need to reevaluate my judging. But anyway, guys, I do believe he's going to place very well here, so stick around to the end of the video to hear my predictions. I really like this guy's physique, man. I'm not sure how he came in 8th last week, in all honesty. Now, the next guy we're going to talk about is Joe Seaman. Now, Joe Seaman actually competed in last year's Toronto Pro, where he would place 3rd behind Joel Thomas and Quentin Araya. Here at the Legion Sports Fest, he would place 6th, and he also placed 6th at the Arnold Classic UK. So that means that Andrea Mucci placed ahead of him at last year's Arnold UK. Very interesting. But Joe is a guy that's just stacked full of muscle, needs to bring the back up a little bit. But other than that, I'm excited to see him at this show. I believe he can be one of these top guys. Now, the next guy we're going to talk about is Dorian Haywood. Dorian is an extremely hard worker. Now, Dorian is another guy who pretty much did the Indy, the New York Pro, a lot of these same shows last year, you know, placing around 4th to 7th. And I believe he placed 6th at the New York Pro and 7th at the Indy Pro, or either the other way around. But hopefully Dorian will get a great look here. You know, this lineup isn't as stacked as the other lineups were. But Dorian is an incredible hard-working guy. You know, he's brought his back up. He's brought his waist down some. He just still needs to bring those legs up a little bit. Now, the last guy we're going to talk about is going to be Mo Shabon. Mo is coming off a 2nd place placing at last week's Cali Pro to Charles Griffin. Incredible version of Charles Griffin, probably the best Charles Griffin we've ever seen. Now, on paper, Mohamed Hassan should win this show. You know, he's a top 10 Olympian, and he placed 10th at the Olympia after doing 3 other shows prior. So I'm pretty sure he was tired, and that actually wasn't his best showing. This Cali Pro may be the best Shabon we've ever seen to date. But I'm going to go ahead and give you guys my predictions, starting with 5th place. And in 5th place, I have Joe Seaman. Joe is incredible. This guy is extremely muscular, but he does have a slightly wider midsection, which I think will hold him back in this lineup. But as you guys see, he comes in crazy condition. And this is going to be another show where I think pretty much the 2nd place to the 5th place may be interchangeable. Now, in 4th place, I have Andrea Muzi. Now, coming off the 4th place placing last week and being the 2nd highest guy ranked that just went to the Cali Pro, you would think that I would have him in 2nd place on paper. But as I said, guys, I believe a couple other guys may get the best of him. Now, I did butcher last week's predictions list, so this may be a mistake, but hopefully not. And in 3rd place, I have Dorian Haywood. Dorian is incredible, man. You guys can see here he is very heavily muscled. He honestly isn't missing too much. I would personally like to see the quads up a little bit and a little bit more sweep on them. But Dorian has a great upper body, and he's going to be one of the most complete guys up there. Now in second place, once again, I have Theo Legrarier. Now you guys let me know in the comment section below. Do you guys personally think he should have placed higher at Cali last week, or is it just me? This is the 8th place physique from the Cali Pro. But I'm very excited to see Theo on this stage, and very excited to see his posing routines as well. Now winning this show, I have Mo Shabon, which I think should be no surprise to anybody. Mo is the highest ranked guy in this lineup, and he honestly just a lot more heavily muscled. A lot of guys probably can match up with him weight wise, but Mo is the shorter man with a lot more muscle, and he has those world class quads. I wouldn't say he looks like a smaller Rami, but maybe just a little bit. Not exactly like a smaller Rami, but a little bit. I would like to see Shabon bring the quads down just a tad, just to see if he would have a little bit more detail. But other than this, Shabon can bring the back up, the arms up. I'm pretty confident that Shabon is going to win this show. And, this taking nothing away from the other competitors. Shabon is a top 10 Olympian. And as I said last week, going into the show, I thought that Charles Griffin was going to win the show. Pretty much knew he was going to win the show. But I'm hoping that Theo Legrarier can move up a little bit, guys. But if the judges place him a little bit low here, that really says a lot. But I honestly think he got overlooked a bit last week, and I think he can be in his second place position this week. But as always, I hope you guys did indeed enjoy this video, man. If you haven't done so already, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. It's free. And if you guys don't follow me over on Instagram, you can follow me at @1GoatFitness. I'm Krishan, and I'm out.